Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a truly fascinating journey into the depths of human perception and our capacity for absolute wonder. We're looking at Episode 6 of Awakened Stories, which is a platform that explores ancient wisdom through the lens of Osho's 1001 Tales. As we go through this, we'll be impartially breaking down the parables exactly as the source hosts, Marcus and Priya, discuss them. What we're trying to do here is uncover those quietly expansive teachings hidden right beneath the surface. It's a profound look at how we limit ourselves and, honestly, how we might finally break free.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever seen something you simply couldn't fit into any category you already had? You know, a moment, an event, or a feeling that just completely defied your existing framework of reality? In the source material, Marcus and Priya use this exact question to set the stage for how we humans react to the truly unknown. Priya actually shares a brief example of this, pointing out that today's teaching is about exactly that kind of moment. The moment the unfamiliar just breaks right through the mundane. It asks us to look closely at what we actually do when we're faced with something that shatters our everyday understanding.
Now, to really understand the weight of this, it helps to see where the source material has been. In their previous discussions, Marcus and Priya explored some deeply grounded internal concepts. Things like the mind taking the throne, the intense difficulty of just maintaining presence, the irritation of the nail in the shoe, the door that never opened, and the successor who never arrived. Those were all explorations of our day-to-day internal friction. But Priya notes something very specific about today's teaching. In total contrast to those inward-looking struggles, today's story entirely goes vertical. It looks up. Movement 1. An airplane in the jungle. To really set the scene here, picture a remote, entirely isolated jungle community where life has proceeded the exact same way for generations.
They know the trees, they know the animals, they know the weather. Their reality is completely unbroken, cohesive, and perfectly understood. And then suddenly, a massive, metallic, roaring object tears through the sky right above them. An airplane. For the very first time, a plane passes overhead. The villagers stop everything. They stare up at the sky in absolute shock. The source material asks us to really sit with the sheer wonder and total bewilderment of this moment. They have no word for aluminum. They have no concept of an engine. They have absolutely zero mental category for a machine that flies. To them, it is pure, unadulterated magic.
Movement 2. Explaining away the magic. Here is where the story shifts from a tale of wonder into a pretty sharp reflection of human psychology.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Instead of just sitting with the wonder, the villagers panic at the unknown and immediately reach for familiar frameworks to make it feel safe. They decide it must be a loud bird, or maybe a strange cloud, or the chariot of a known god. They take this strange, magical thing and press it into a dull, familiar explanation until it fits neatly into their existing worldview. And once they mistakenly label the unknown, the magic dies, the anxiety fades, and life just returns to normal. Everyone goes back to their chores, except, as the story notes, for one solitary figure who stands apart, refusing the easy explanation and just keeps looking up at the sky.
Movement 3. The eagle and the chickens. This brings us to a second parallel story in The Explainer that honestly hits even closer to home. Imagine a hunter traveling through the high mountains. He finds a wild eagle egg, brings it all the way down to a farm in the valley, and places it directly into a chicken nest. The egg hatches alongside the chicks, and this creature of the high altitudes begins its life on the dirt ground. The tragedy of this image is just profound. The eagle grows up entirely believing it is a chicken. It spends its days looking down, pecking at the dirt for seeds and insects. It flutters a few feet into the air because, well, that's what chickens do. It dreams only chicken dreams, completely unaware of its true, expansive nature. It literally has the wingspan to cross mountain ranges, but it uses it to fight over scraps in the dust. Then, one day, the eagle looks up. High above the farmyard, it sees this magnificent bird soaring effortlessly on the thermal winds, majestic and totally free. Something stirs deep inside the eagle's DNA, and it turns and asks its fellow chickens, "What is that beautiful bird? Could we ever do that?" But the chickens reply with absolute unwavering certainty, "That is an eagle, the king of birds, but we are chickens, we do not fly." Believing them, the eagle bows its head. It returns to pecking at the dirt, and it lives and dies exactly that way, never once leaving the ground.
Well.
Unpacking our conditioning. As the source material reveals, this isn't just a sad animal fable.
Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is how these ancient symbols act as a deeply tender, compassionate reflection of our own human conditioning. It's not meant to mock us at all, it's meant to wake us up. The jungle villagers, the eagle chicken, they are us. The farmyard is our societal conditioning. We accept the boundaries of the farmyard not because someone brutally forced us to, but simply because all the other chickens around us are so completely certain that the dirt is all there is.
But what about the airplane? Well, the hosts detail how the airplane represents the profound interior life that mystics point out. Figures like Buddha, Lao Tzu, Jesus, and Rumi, they have literally been flying overhead our entire lives. The airplane is also those sudden, uninvited moments of inexplicable peace you might feel out of nowhere. It is the beauty without cause that just drops you to your knees. But time and time again, we continually explain away these moments exactly like the villagers did. We say, "Oh, I just had a good cup of coffee," or "I'm just in a good mood today," instantly reducing the divine to the mundane.
Reclaiming your forgotten wings. Let's shift our focus to the practical, expansive application of this teaching.
Let's move forward and see how this builds into our everyday lives. What would actually change tomorrow morning if we didn't just understand this metaphorically, but practically? To help ground this, the hosts impartially share their own personal revelations. Marcus, with his typical warmth, quietly names a specific moment when something profound passed overhead in his own life, and he admits he explained it away just because it didn't fit his routine. Priya, bringing her sharp realism, notes the incredibly difficult gap between how she lives most days and those rare moments that genuinely open her up. She asks the tough question, why do we settle for the gap? What would it actually mean to not explain it away the next time?
So the crucial point is this: the teaching isn't asking you to learn how to fly. It's pointing out that flight is your natural state. You have wings. You simply forgot you had them because you've spent so long listening to the chickens. The explainer is urging you to consider what your life could look like, what your potential could be, if you just stopped explaining away your own magic.
So just one question before you go. Think back over your own life. What airplane has passed over your jungle that you explained away? What moment of pure, inexplicable beauty opened up briefly for you, only for you to close it again simply because you had no category for it? Sit with that. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, remember your wings.